Mr. Pfalzgraf, anything?
I'm the parent of a SPED student. I've been the parent of a SPED student for a very long time. I think I have the most cognitively limited child in the entire district. So I know what SPED is about. I also know in the 2 years that I've been here, there's been some drastic changes in the administration of this district and the people that fill key positions, especially on the sites. I know that we hire educational professionals, and I know that they have plans, and I know that there are improvements, and there are measurable improvements. In fact, if I were to be able to share my comments to the superintendent's evaluation, there were directives that I gave him, especially about certain things that are being discussed. And so I want to remind everyone that sometimes, especially in the governmental and bureaucracies, that things don't happen overnight. But I do see progress that especially affects my own child. That said, there's been some reporting on nothing nefarious, but on the audit findings, especially with the credit cards. I want to make sure that everyone understands that I will not have this stain on my t-shirt. When the superintendent comes back, again, I will ask him in open session next time if anyone on his staff has turned in credit card purchases without receipts. I want to make sure that everyone understands that that is not a current process. Okay, I haven't had a rant like this in a while, but I'll make it short. The AADUSD teacher strike. I don't even know where to start. So here's what we'll do. We'll just declare a moratorium on charter hearings. In what world is that legal? So, in other words, if a charter comes in and says, I'm going to submit something, I'm going to say, no, you're not going to submit anything because I'm going to have a moratorium and I'm going to have my staff study this for 6 months, which mysteriously lines up with what? All the charters that are for-profit charters have to divest their interests into not existing anymore or becoming nonprofit charters by June 30th. So conveniently, any of those that would wish to walk up to the dais or the podium in that district would be precluded from doing so. So I'm expecting a stampede of those that want to run in here under the wire. Come on, let's go. We'll burn up all of our resources looking at all these petitions, and I'll still have my same 20 questions, and either you make it through it or you don't. But what I find surprising is that LACO, the organization or the agency that sees over all of the districts, including LAUSD, sat in here and told us in 14-15, when I was still sitting out there in the audience, that charters would be our downfall because they would give us some type of competition. Now, 4 or 5 years later, guess what? Charters are going to be your downfall because they're going to give you some competition. Imagine that. What a huge discovery it was for me to hear that. But it's kind of odd that the only people that can do this are those that have big enough and deep enough budgets and pockets that someone who wished to walk up here, I know what I would do. I would file a petition on purpose, and then knowing that it wouldn't be heard, the first thing I would do is go file a court injunction in the 9th District and shoot that idea where it came from. But let me tie this together at the end to say, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drive down the Antelope Valley Freeway at 80 miles an hour like everyone else does, except I'm going to have a piece of paper that I sent the governor. So when I get pulled over, I'm just going to tell the officer, look, I have a piece of paper. I wrote a letter to the California governor, and I am going to just, I got people studying this, and you're going to wait for the study. And then the most amazing thing to me is this. In what world do you have a brand new governor who hasn't even sat in his chair for 5 minutes, and you take a huge issue of this magnitude that affects education in this whole state and just drop it in his lap, and he takes it in his lap, and we all walk away and laugh? The saddest part about this is only the people that have the pockets deep enough to stand up there and fight are the ones that can win this battle. So we're just adrift. So I'm glad everyone's focus is on that instead of maybe they should give us some money for our classrooms. I think that would be cool. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. That's my rant.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Pfalzgraf.
That was gracious of you, Mike. Thank you.
Still connecting the dots, but fill me in the parking lot.
Now I will connect the dots for you, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Now, every charter that comes in gets what? Startup money, is that correct? So if we have a moratorium on new charters, guess what? There's not going to be any startup money to hand out anymore, to the tune of, what is it usually, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 for everyone that walks in the door. So I'm relatively sure with this new moratorium that they're going to take that $300,000 to $500,000 for every new charter and put it right back in education. I'm sure they're going to do that, right? Okay, thank you.